Hi, welcome to Doing More. I am Erica Cardenas. As schools reopen, our educators and staff have been working around the clock to make this school year fun, safe, and inviting for students and parents. Since the pandemic, the reshaping of education has moved towards a remote learning environment. This transition has been challenging for many teachers, students, and parents. But through the dedication and support of our educators, there's been a resilient, positive attitude. And here to talk about the evolving stages of this new form of remote learning is Arizona's Regional Director, Elena Lowry from Common Sense Media. Thanks so much for being with us, Elena.
Oh, thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate the opportunity.
First off, tell us a little about Common Sense, the organization.
We are a nonprofit, first of all. We are a national organization. We're really one of the most impactful child advocacy groups in the United States. We opened our office here in Phoenix in 2018. We're a trusted guide for families and educators and advocates who help kids thrive online. In response to the coronavirus, we launched a new portal. It is called wideopenschool.org. It's a free collection of some of the best online learning experiences that are out there. Some of our partners include Sesame Workshop, PBS, Scholastic, Khan Academy, National Geographic. I mean, names that you're familiar with as far as educational opportunities. The site has information on everything from math and science to virtual field trips. So it's really a great way to help parents and educators kind of map out a plan to keep kids learning, to keep them entertained, both creatively and physically.
Common Sense and Cox has such a great relationship, and let's talk a little about the Connect2Compete initiative and how that ties into that relationship.
Once folks get their Chromebook, they now sort of need to know about all of the things from a content standpoint that Common Sense can provide, everything from privacy issues to, again, we talked about content. So we're just kind of there as a partner to help provide the content and the resources and the advice to parents to help with that management of the screens for their kids.
Wow, Elena, thank you so much. We really sure do appreciate you and everything that Common Sense is doing to support families and students in our community. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Erica, and thank you to Cox for being such a great partner.
I also had a chance to catch up with Cox Communications VP of Public Affairs, Susan Abboville, to talk about how Cox Communications is committed to helping students and families narrow the digital divide through the Connect2Compete initiative. Hi, Susan. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First off, let's talk a little about the Connect2Compete initiative. What is that?
Connect2Compete has been a national initiative that's been around for about 8 years that Cox Communications has participated in. And basically what it is it's a program that endeavors to bridge the digital divide for low-income families that don't have access to the internet. And so it's a program that offers a $9.95 per month internet service connection. The eligibility requirements can be met through a variety of ways. A student could be on the National Free School Lunch Program. A family could be receiving SNAP or TANF benefits, or perhaps the family lives in public housing.
Now, Susan, Cox Communications has such solid relationships with community organizations. How are those relationships continuing to connect people and bridge that digital divide in the community?
In addition to our Connect2Compete program, we also have found other ways to help bridge the digital divide. And one of the ways we've been able to do that is partnering with nonprofit organizations in the community that serve populations that need that connectivity. All of the tools that we have, the Digital Academy and otherwise, are available so that at that location and in that environment, we can serve those populations. And so that is one more way that Cox is able to help bridge the digital divide and connect people who need those connections connections the most. No child should be left behind because they don't have access to an internet connection. And so bridging that digital divide, it is a personal mission of our leader, it's a personal mission of our company, and all of our employees are committed to it as well.
That's terrific. Thank you so much, Susan, for everything that you're doing. We sure appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank Elena Lowry from Common Sense Media and her very own Susan Annabelle from Cox Communications for sharing about these very important resources for families and educators and helping close the digital divide during this very challenging time. For more information, head over to the websites on your screen. I'll be back with more on Doing More right after this. Welcome back to Doing More, where we shine a light on the good things happening in our communities. We've been sharing the reshaping of our educational system through distance learning. Now, did you know that due to the pandemic, school facility closures have affected 50 million K-12 public school students who had to learn remotely from home? 15 to 16 million of these students lack adequate internet or devices to sustain effective distance learning at home. Because of this, there's been a coalition of education and media partners committed to bridge the digital gap through affordable internet access and through generosity of providing free computers to students, just like a Creighton School District. Take a look.
Today we're handing out iPads for all of our students. You know, in the spring when we first started, we were able to get iPads to one family each, and then they were sharing. And now we're having a one-to-one device for every single student while we teach remotely. We really want our children socially connected in our community, and we know physical distancing is necessary. And so the organic nature that the classroom of the past offered is currently on hold. So we want to offer everything we can so our kids can socially connect, emotionally connect, and intellectually connect in an environment where we create community on a screen. We are providing a one-to-one iPad. We are providing jetpacks, which is a hotspot for internet access, and then we're paying for internet services at a very reduced rate.
The troubleshooting area was a critical piece of what we're offering our families today. So we really wanted our parents to be able to learn from teachers about what to do if. And that was really critical for the success of what we're going to do. Knowing that we were going into this, we had to have a different attitude and a different way of looking at this new mode of learning. So I think part of that conversation relates to how the social emotional piece is critical, not only for our students to feel socially connected to their peers and to their teachers, but for the teachers to have that feedback and that connection with their students. Because we're all in education because we love our children. We love our families. We want to be there for them. It's hard when you're on a screen in a WebEx and you've got these little squares and you want them to be with you, but we have to figure out a way to make that translate so that that just kind of comes through the screen.
It's equity in action. We're making sure that every student, every family has the necessary tool, device, and an internet connection so they're able to access the high quality education that Creighton School District is providing to our students via remote learning. Nobody was ready for a pandemic. However, we have to create a new reality, a new normalcy, and we have to understand that it's not just the learning, but also the support and emotional support that the parents need.
I'm excited. I'm excited because I get to see my friends in person and my teacher.
I'm getting teary when I think about the fact that our kids have been isolated, that they miss their friends, that their teachers just want to hug them. And when I think about what this could be as a substitute for those hugs, it means everything in terms of organic human development. And it breaks my heart that we're not together yet, but we will be.
To me, it's all about making sure that we live the message of our district, which is loving each child as our own, creating collaboration, creating adventurous learners, and kind-hearted leaders.
We traveled to Las Vegas at the Cox Back to School Virtual Fair, complete with virtual booths and a chance to win lots of great prizes. Take a look.
Every summer for many years, Southern Nevada families have relied on Cox Back to School fairs to help them get ready to return to the classroom. This year, Cox is proud to continue the tradition in a virtual way. That's right, we moved it all online at coxbacktoschoolfair.com. Cox worked with community partners and organizations to provide the same quality and quantity of information as the in-person fairs, delivered online and available 24/7. The website is filled with virtual booths organized into easy-to-navigate sections: education, health immunizations, after-school activities, low-cost internet services, and cool prizes. We encourage everyone to visit as often as they like, to check regularly for the latest information, and to share coxbacktoschoolfair.com with friends and family, especially those with school-age children. Now I'm so happy to be here with Dr. Beverly Gibbons, the Director of the Clark County School District School Community Partnerships, and Janelle Davis, Communications Officer for the Silver State Health Insurance Exchange, part of the Nevada Health Link. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks, Jeff.
Beverly, CCSD also is going 100% online to start the school year. What should parents and students expect with this distance learning model? How should they prepare?
Well, they should still expect a quality education, and to prepare for that, the school district has put out an entire resource guide for parents, and it's on our front page at www.ccsd.net. And there is information that parents can get, from how lunch will be served, how to get some supplies, just a wealth of information there, so that they have any question, it is there on the site. I want to thank Cox for your continued support in this partnership. It has been a wonderful experience, and I was excited that we got to work together to still do the back to school fairs virtually.
And Janelle, what motivated Nevada Health Link to support the Cox Back to School virtual fair this year?
So this year, Nevada Health Link always is excited to participate in the Cox Back to School events, but we're all in this together during these crazy pandemic times. And Nevada Health Link really wants Nevadans to know that we're here to help get you covered through a qualified health insurance plan. There's affordable prices, and this is not a time for Nevadans to go without health insurance, and we want to be there for families and kids and their parents, and the back to school fairs is a really good way to get out into the community and let people know that Nevada Health Link is a resource for them.
Thank you again, Beverly and Janelle, for joining us today.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Make sure you visit coxbacktoschoolfair.com regularly for the latest information.
Cox Communications is committed in creating meaningful moments of human connection through broadband applications and services, and is dedicated to empowering others to build a better future and celebrate diverse products, people, suppliers, communities, and the characteristics that makes each one unique. What a great way of doing more. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Doing More. Thanks for joining me. We've been sharing stories on how our communities have been productive and proactive during the new school year. Distance learning involves using technology to allow students to continue their education from any location. It also challenges the educators to recreate an engaging, collaborative classroom environment online, offering an integrated set of tools to help students maximize their learning. We also traveled to San Diego, California, where we visited with Cox Communications employees who are part of a virtual volunteer program that creates virtual connections with seniors during the pandemic. Such a great way to heal loneliness, one call at a time.
Cox has a purpose. It's all about bringing us closer, and that means bringing people together and celebrating the connections we have with each other. When you think about the world and what's going on today, there's never really been a better time to reach out and connect with the people in our lives.
You know something? Life's too short to be mad in your lifetime.
That's a great attitude. You sound like you're good people.
I developed a friendship with somebody that I think needed to have a friendship, to have a friend, to talk with, and to look forward to the conversations and the phone calls.
I wrote right down to the hole. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
There are people who are lonely like that, who really do need to have somebody not check in, but just to have a conversation.
Perfect strangers can become family members. You don't have to be blood related. And during all this bad stuff, there's always a silver lining. Always something good comes out of something bad.
I've had an amazing time talking with you today.
we're going to check in again tomorrow.
Like I said, I can't tell you how much this does help.
The relationship that is developed between Edith and I, it's more than I could have ever imagined. So glad we got time to talk together today, and this has been awesome for me. You know, you might meet your next best friend making this phone call one time a day, you know.
Everything that we do with Cox is about helping people find more moments of those meaningful connections.
You're easy to talk to, and I enjoy these conversations.
Well, it was great speaking with you again today. I look forward to our next call.
When we think about Cox, we think about ways that technology can bring people together. That's really what One Call a Day is all about, reaching out and being there for the people in our lives.
The One Call a Day volunteer program has over 50 active volunteers matched with participating seniors from New York City, Washington, D.C., Ohio, Louisiana, South Dakota, Colorado, Arizona, and California. The volunteer program will expand into new Cox markets, including Rhode Island, Virginia, and Florida. The program captures the importance of connection and the real power of technology to bring us closer to one another at a time when it's mostly needed. While in California, we also travel to San Marcos to visit a teen wellness center whose mission is to empower those affected by abuse and neglect. Take a look.
Well, Casa de Amparo really is about instilling hope in children, really, and giving them a future that feels worth living to them. We provide housing and treatment for kids who otherwise would not have it and would likely end up homeless. Many of the children that we work with oftentimes have been runaway and on the streets, and so our ability to provide those types of services for our local community and the mental health services that we offer is something that we feel only strengthens our local community here. We have 35 girls that live here on our campus at Costa Kids campus. When one of them struggles or destabilizes, sometimes our only option right now is to call the police. And so we really want to bypass these options that are not great. And so what our Teen Wellness Center will do is it will give us a really viable alternative that will also prevent a lot of the trauma that the kids experience when they have to go to juvenile hall. We're super excited to be building this and raising funds for it. We've started a capital campaign, and we've raised a little over $3 million. We're shooting for $11 million. We've gotten a lot of local support with a real recognition that this type of program is so necessary here in San Diego County. These have been really tough times. Initially, you know, when we learned about COVID, we really trying to figure out what to do was a real concern for us because our kids live here, so we can't just close up shop and send everybody home. And we had a lot of concern. We had staff who were concerned about themselves and their families, and we also had kids who were terrified that the staff wouldn't come in to take care of them. And so we've been able to bring in all of the PPE that we need and really work to make sure that we're giving all of our girls and our staff what they need. But it has been a journey, and I don't think it's over. I think we've got a lot more to go still. So anyone that sees this segment, the best thing that they could do is go to our website, casadeamparo.org, and there are a multitude of ways to help. Not only can they give monetarily, but in order to run an organization like this and in order to provide the services that we have a whole troop of volunteers. They provide services throughout the year through various special events and activities. And so all of that information is available to you on our website. We really have been so grateful to the community. We've seen the reach out. We've had local people coming and bringing food for our children, cooking dinners, doing all kinds of different things. And so, you know, in these kind of times, you sometimes see the best in people too, and we've had the opportunity to witness that here at Casa de Amparo.
You can make a difference by becoming a sponsor. Your commitment will help children and families impacted by abuse and neglect. For more information, just head over to the website on your screen. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Doing More. Our last stop was Louisiana, where we visited a residential building company dedicated to building beautiful homes for families through community outreach.
I'm Missy Manuel, and I'm co-owner of Manuel Builders. My husband Greg and I have a residential building company. We've been around over 55 years. We build custom on your lot and residential in development speculative homes. Our core values are community, integrity, and excellence, and those are really important to us. We believe and love people, and we love building homes, safe places for them to do life and make memories. We believe in giving back to our community, and we love people, and we love building homes for them. Greg and I love getting involved in community outreach of any sort. We feel like leadership and success is not only a reward, but a responsibility. And so we definitely want to give back with our time, skills, and money. The Abboville Project was a home that we built for a couple, actually a family that had undergone a tragedy and lost a child. The husband was in a wheelchair, and so we got all of our trades together, and they really wanted to be involved in this project, and we built a home and then we surprised them and gave it to them. That is really my favorite, although we have taken our team on mission trips and built homes for people in Mexico and Guatemala, and so that was really a sweet project too. I feel like it's important to give back. Our community blesses us with business, and I feel like we're to be stewards of our time, talent, and money. And when we give back, we not only help our community and the people in our community, but we help the whole community to grow.
As we start the new school year, it's important to give our children and educators a little bit of grace. And most importantly, let's be patient while everyone adjusts to the new norm. Whether a child is on-site or remote learning, make sure they're following safety government guidelines. Also, remote learners should have a designated workspace, a reliable computer, printer, and access to the internet. And remember, with a little empathy, lots of communication, and a commitment to our communities, we can get through this fall and beyond together. I'm Erica Cardenas. Thanks for joining me.